council members, you've had a chance to read the minutes from the executive session of August 4th and August 18th. You entertain a motion.
From looking as you receive the minutes of the
I don't see that.
Discussion.
Yes, under discussion, there are some items that are not very clear in here. It does not say who said what in a lot of places. It's just a lot of generalization. I thought,
And I agree.
it doesn't clear up, who said what or, anything in it.
And I also think some things were said in here, was said that is not in this minutes. I do think some things were said that, wasn't in here. And for that reason, I wish you would just take them back up and then.
Well, if I can respond, the law doesn't require an executive session to be verbatim minutes. It has to be a statement of what happened.
Yes,
but that doesn't have to be verbatim minutes.
Okay, I know that, but I think some things that was critical, that should have been put in here is not stuff like that.
Well, generally, when the mayor makes a request for minutes, any council member can make additions or deletions. If you think there's something that needs to be added, I guess you can add it. But the law doesn't require that it be verbatim minutes.
Okay, and I think that we should probably, if I'm not mistaken, I think that should be done in executive section. Anything that we need to change or say about this, I think it should not be done in.
I agree with you.
I'd like to object to that. That's
Excuse
not
me.
cause for
Excuse
a closed
me.
session. Yes, ma'am. That's not
You
a
will
cause for a closed session.
You will need to, Chief,
Go around.
she is not allowed to talk out. You're not, this is not open to you, Miss Bailey. You're the president, you should know better.
But ma'am, that's part of my job.
Chief, you all have her, she needs to go. She does this at each meeting. So I would ask you all to have, she's an adult. No one else comes in here and does what she does. As the press.
Ms. Judy, I'm warning you one more outburst.
Now this is getting out of hand. I hope she put that in the newspaper, that she's always doing outbursts. If she don't, I'll buy it and pay it to go in there. I'm sick of this. Council, can I entertain a motion that we now go into executive session to make the necessary correction?
Mayor, again, I'm going to object. That
Have
is not
her-
a call
take
for
her
a
out.
closed session.
She is out. She's out. Have her, you are excluded out of the meeting.
Arrest me. I'm not going out unless you arrest me. I'm not going out. Chief, because this is ridiculous.
She's out of this meeting.
Thank you, Mayor.
Have a great day.
You too. I appreciate your help.
You're welcome.
As far as I can read in the Sunshine Law, you cannot call an executive session to go into executive session to discuss the minutes. That is not an allowable call for. It has to be a legally called executive session. When you do a legally called executive session, then you can talk about the minutes from the last session, but you cannot call the executive session just to talk about the minutes. These minutes will have to wait until we can have a really exact executive call meeting that would be legal. This would not be a legal Madam.
Councilman Edie, I consulted Attorney Jones, and he advised me, my city attorney, and he advised me, so I took the necessary. So, Attorney, would you elaborate?
My understanding, there are alterations that want to be made by some council members in executive session minutes. That can only be done in an executive session, it can't be done in public. So if the council votes to go into executive session, it has to be approved. So if you don't want to go into executive session, vote against it. But if it's approved, then they will go into executive session just to correct the minutes.
At the time, Attorney General, at the time, this executive section was done with Attorney Richardson.
Yes.
And I would have to agree that maybe we need to do that, to approve that at a later time and go into executive section at a later time, because Mr. Richardson, Attorney Richardson is not here either. So I would suggest that we did say what. I mean, we gotta vote.
I didn't hear what you said in the last statement. So what we'll do is just table the executive session until a minute to a later date. The next council meeting.
Madam Mayor, someone has a question?
Who is someone?
Attorney Brown?
Minutes. Mr. Jones wants to give advice, it needs to be good advice. Open record law says the minutes after open session, executive session minutes have to be submitted and approved with the regular. You can't split them up, do all of that.
Attorney Boone, I think we just heard from, what did you say, Councilwoman Woodland? That this needs to be discussed at a later date.
I was just, but I was just suggesting that.
Since Attorney Richardson is not here, so we'd like to go into executive session with him and have him clarify this. Thank you.
But I do have a question for Attorney Boone.
Go ahead.
It's just going back a little bit to the minutes. It's a question for you, Attorney. Whenever we have, when we do the minutes, and whenever we have a vote like we had, and we don't have for a vote, what do we do with the meeting?
Full vote for a motion, motion failed.
So what happens then?
No vote, failed.
So you go on with the meeting?
I mean, vote, do what? Issue, I mean, on a particular issue, that issue fails, go on to the next item on the agenda.
Okay.
Let me just say something. Mr. Edie handed me a statement on the open meetings law, says there are certain things that allow executive sessions. One of the things on point 6 to allow an executive session is to discuss records that are exempt from disclosure. And the executive session minutes were exempt, they're not put with the regular minutes. So I believe there would be a proper cause to do an executive session if the council chose to, in order to discuss these records, executive session minutes, because they're not subject to general disclosure. And so the law does allow that.
So what we've agreed to do is just table it until the next, council meeting. Right. So, that being said, are we clear on this? We'll proceed to, if that there's no old business, we'll proceed to new business. And the first item of discussion under new business is to adopt the millage rate.
You ready for a motion?
I'm looking for mine, she said, I looked at my package and I didn't see mine. Just want to make sure. All right, have y'all had a chance to look at it and read it, council? Entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we adopt the 2014 millage rate at 4.495.
Discussion? Questions? All in favor, roll call. Aye.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Next item for discussion is water bill adjustment. We have Ms. Cheryl Ray. She's eligible for 2 months adjustment. Her July usage is 10.470 at $29.62 for the month of July. August usage was 98.160 at $149.47 for August. 98,000, I'm sorry. July bill is $29.62, average usage is 1,200 gallons. And the August bill at $149.47. Average bill is $23.52.
Has the leak been repaired, or did they find a leak that we know of?
It was noticed or identified on 8/19/2014. So So we can assume that they've gotten the fees.
I make a motion that we grant this request as usual.
Second motion.
Next one is,
Got to vote on it.
oh, I'm sorry. Let's take a roll call.
Aye.
Mr.
Yeah.
Smiley.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carried. Our next name on the account is Carol Grimes. Her average usage is 9,600. And the July usage is 20,700. And the July bill is at $100.19. Okay, the average bill for August, I'm supposing, is $54.95. Her average usage is 63,100. Her August bill is $274.03.
Has she been made aware that she knows that it has to be repaired?
There was,
You know,
yeah, so there's no that's prepared by Mr. Henry Martin.
I make a motion we grant her the same request as presented.
Second motion.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Our next individual is Jesse J. Atside. His average use of water is 5,300 gallons. He's eligible for a 2 months adjustment. The average bill is $37.19. July usage is 17,600. July bill is $87.48. And the August usage is 50,100 gallons. And the August bill is $220.73.
They said the toilet was leaking and it has been repaired 1 week ago.
And he is eligible for a adjustment. He's eligible for an adjustment.
It's our 2
I
month
make a
adjustment.
motion that we grant his adjustment also.
Second motion.
Uh,
Oh, we did. Sorry.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor by roll call.
Aye.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Our next order of business is C, the budget workshop.
You have a date in mind?
I wanted to ask council. We all could agree on a particular day.
We need to do it this week. It's very important to get it done. We've got to put it in the paper and it has to be advertised and people have to be given a chance to come to the meeting in October or whenever we set it up. So time is of the essence.
Yes, it is.
Can we say Thursday?
At 11 o'clock.
I can't be here until after 4.
We'll set it up Thursday. Thursday at 4:30.
It would work for me.
Council, rest view on Thursday at 4:30. Speak now, forever hold your peace. It's in place Thursday, 4:30. Motion is, I'm sorry, the date has been set. Everybody, let's, take a vote by roll call. Motion to accept that date. Motion to accept the date of Thursday, September 18th at 4:30.
I offer a motion that we set the date for the budget workshop for Thursday at 4:30 p.m. On the 18th.
Second.
Yeah, I'd like to second the motion, but can I say this? Since we have these microphones to be, expect time not holding like we used to, because everybody can hear now with the microphone. Just take one overall vote. Because the roll call vote is time for somebody.
We can't hear back
I
there.
second that motion.
They had somebody up back there so they can't hear you. So everybody do not come to be able to see. So, motion has been made and second. All in favor by roll call? Whipple? Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Thursday at 4:30.
Anybody can come.
All right, section D. Georgia's section 319, non-point source implementation grant.
I would like to ask, do any of the old, the previous councils, do y'all,
I've never heard of it that I know of, not described like that, and Mike could tell me a little bit more about it.
I've got the clerk right here, she can, if you want to elaborate on that.
You gave me this the other day, and remember I put over there, I don't know anything about this particular grant, we never applied.
Here, here.
One that I can remember.
Talk to me about it.
Y'all hear me? Did y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this grant.
Exactly.
The mayor handed this to me and asked me if I know anything about it, but I've never known the city of Georgia to apply for this grant or anything about it.
While she's talking about it, I can just tell you what it says. I thought maybe you could give them a copy of it. It just says the Georgia Environmental Protection Division receives an annual non-point source implementation grant from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, U.S. EPA, under Section 319H of the Clean Water Act to help prevent, control, and/or abate non-point source pollution in support of Georgia's Georgia's non-point source management program. GAEPD then conducts a competitive process to fund eligible projects that will lead to direct reduction in pollutant loads and measurable water quality improvements in impaired waters throughout the state. And it says a federal cost share policy associated with the grant requires a maximum of 60% federal dollars and a minimum of 40% non-federal cash or in-kind match toward the total project cost. Currently, the maximum federal award to any individual project is $400,000, which requires a minimum local match of $266,000, resulting in a total of $666,667. There is no minimum federal award amount that a project can receive. The maximum duration of any Individual grant is limited to 3 years to achieve the project goals and objectives. And it says eligible applicants, public agencies such as local, regional, or state governments, authorities that operate public service or delivery programs, for example, sewer, water, regional commissions, agricultural, conservation councils, and county extensions, and school and university systems. State law prohibits private or nonprofit companies or organizations from receiving Section 319 funds directly, H of that. But directly, these groups are encouraged to form partnerships with public agencies to develop implementation projects and apply for this grants. Applicants must meet a conference call with the GAEPD grants unit prior, meaning before October 15, 2014. So is this something we, Mike would like to apply for? We'll leave it up to council to have looked and discussed this and make a decision.
I make a motion, we table it till a later time. I haven't had time to read it and find out a lot more information about it.
Thank you. Clerk will make sure that everybody gets a copy. Put that in a minute for everybody to have a copy of this. I think it's something that will be beneficial for the city. How long is that? You all please review that, and like I said, we'll table that at the next council meeting. Can I get a second? Do I have a second?
Oh, okay, I second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It says everybody, we want to roll call. All right, our next, I'd like to do is, bring this before council. As I said, before I do anything or take any necessary steps, I'd like to inform you all that, we know for several years, we have what we consider the eldest living individual in the community. So I'd like to just make council aware that what we'll do as the council members is recognize that individual, perhaps setting a date aside to give Ms. Hattie Jenkins a key to the city. And I'd like to have council support me in this endeavor. She will be 105 October, Lord willing.
Do we have any more citizens that age?
Mrs. Hattie Jenkins. I don't know if anybody else that age. I only know of her. Does anybody else know? I don't mean to, but I'm just asking council members. If you all have someone that you all know of, then we welcome you to present it to us. Council members, I have no problem with you asking citizens in the community if they know of someone. But at this moment, she's the only one that I know of, and I'd like to have your support. Motion to.
Could you come back maybe at a later meeting and have some type of commendation wrote up, so that we could adopt it and then do that?
Sure can. No problem.
I don't have any problem with it. I'd be glad to do it.
Thank you. So I take that as a motion.
Why don't we just wait and make the motion to do it then? I think everybody's in agreement, if you just bring it back as a, write-up.
do that one at a later date. Item F is Ms. Linda Cannon. Please come forward. Welcome to the great city of Gordon.
Hi, how are you?
Do you need a mic?
I think I can talk loud enough that everybody can hear me.
Here you
Can
are.
you hear me? My name is Linda Cannon, and I have a long history with Wilkinson County, but I also volunteer, and I serve on the board for the United States Tennis Association of Georgia. This is Donna Bailey. Donna Bailey used to be the past president of USTA Georgia. She is now our executive director, and she's housed in Macon, Georgia. We have districts in under USTA, and Wilkinson falls into our district. I ran into the mayor at school one day and was asking her about the tennis courts here in Gordon. Some of you that have children at the middle school, I wrote a grant back in the last school year and through USTA Georgia, and it was approved. So we have a program that brought tennis balls and brought rackets and nets so that they could play inside in case if the courts were messed up, as they are right now. But one of the other things that, and there was a lot of excitement, and talking to the principal, I understand it was well received by parents and by the kids themselves. I think tennis is a great sport. I play, Donna plays, and my goal is to try to get tennis back into Gordon. I went over, I've also been in talks with a pro, and he said that he would come down into Gordon and provide lessons for some of our children or for some of our adults. We have this going on in Macon all week long. And so but I know that's kind of a distance for some of you to travel. I know one of my families here, they told me they travel from here to Warner Robins to get lessons for their child. So I thought it was something that we might want to bring here. I went out and looked at your tennis courts, and you have a beautiful park, but the tennis courts kind of need a little bit of work. We have a program through United States Tennis Association that we could partner with you to, it would be a match to help resurface those courts and kind of bring it up to code, and if we could get some tennis going here. I've also talked to, there's a gentleman that his mom grew up here. This is his job. He does courts all over the southeast. He's put them on Tyler Perry's roof, Ted Turner, and when I talked to him, he told me that his mom grew up here, and he had a real allegiance to this county. And I don't want to give you his name, but if you're interested, I'll let you know. But he would be very interested. He told me to give you a discount. We will do, USTA does Georgia does, National does a match. And for you, those of you who, a matching grant, for those of you that do not know who the USTA is, they're the ones that present the US Open every year. And we come under the auspices of them. Their goal is to promote and grow tennis. We're both longtime volunteers, Donna longer than me. But I wanted to leave you some information on the program. I'll also leave you my card that if you needed to get in touch with me, I'd be more than happy to help you do whatever I needed to. Donna, I beg your pardon?
How many copies do you have?
I just have, can I get copies? Can you, I'll give it to you, and it's the website, and everybody can go on. I just copied that, but if you go on the website, you're going to get a better view of what we do. USTA, we got the courts in Macon resurfaced. I was president at the time, and USTA Georgia gave us $100,000. And between the city and county, we were able to come up with $700,000 to resurface those courts. And the reason that they did it is because when we have a lot of tournaments, we bring in $3 million a year. Because when you look at food, restaurants, hotels, we've had people who come in and buy cars. We have tournaments all during the year where we get 800 to 1,000 people at one time. So they were very willing to go ahead and do those courts because that's money in their coffers.
Yes.
Well, I just want to add also, Madam Mayor, it's really good for the youth.
Yes.
You know, so, and the youth programs, because we're all about youth, and
and you know, trying to enhance your life skills. And this is just a program. I'm just going to leave it here. You can pass the list 10 up there. And then also, this is a pin that says Macon Tennis Association on it. So whenever there's one for each everybody.
Thank you.
For the city council. But right now, you have people here that in Gordon that play tennis in Macon, and it would be kind of nice to have it where, and also have these programs for the children. So
Yeah.
I guess you could tell it. Tennis is my whole life. It's my passion. Like you said, I used to be the president of the state for tennis. So we try to get out to the communities and we try to get it, you know, down here to a lot of the communities where kids can come locally and not have to travel to Macon or Warner Robins.
My sister and doctor, brother-in-law, does in Atlanta. So we don't want y'all to take away from us.
Well, tennis is really big in Georgia. We're probably the biggest in our section. There's 9 states in our section, and Georgia's the biggest, and we want to keep it going.
Well, we're the biggest in the United States.
Yeah.
Georgia is the largest tennis state in the country, over California and Florida and Texas. So we are the largest. The northern state is as big as us when it comes to tennis participation.
And we want to see adults, not just children, adults of any age, getting out there and play. So if there's something I can do, let me know. And I've been more than happy to help with anything that I can.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much for letting me come in and talk to
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, okay.
Okay. Since everybody, do I have a motion that we table this and give you more time to look at it and decide?
I'd like to table this to a later time.
That's the motion. Everybody's in favor, I suppose. Aye. Okay. Moving right along. Our next item is for discussion is Mr. Vaughn Crawford. Are you in the house, Mr. Crawford? All right. Well, he was here, but he left some information for us. Let's see. This is SAC Marketing, and he left information for each of the council members, so you all can take one and we'll table that too for further discussion. Read over that, will be your assignment.
Let that be right.
All right, our next item is item H, GMEBS Health Plan. This, if there's a special note, if you all have a copy of that, do you not?
Yes, ma'am.
If you look at the bottom, there's an asterisk on that first page. It says return of document, so this will be another assignment that we will have to read over. It says return of documents, please return the executed declaration document and executed ordinance or resolution by October 1st. So we'll,
We won't be meeting before then, not in the regular meeting, so we probably need to do it tonight.
we haven't had time to look over this. Pardon? Have y'all had a chance to read over it?
I didn't read every word, I looked over it, it's pretty much the same that we've had for, several years on the life and health program. I think actually most of it towards the back where the benefits and everything are, and we have to vote on it, and the clerk and the mayor has to sign off on it, which is the resolution for it, I guess.
Everybody turn to that page where it says ordinance. Are these copies for?
Yes, ma'am.
I have all but one page, the front page, page 1. I have 2, 3, and 4, but I was looking at this review.
Can you help me with that?
That's all right, I'm looking at it.
Everybody count and see if they have 4 pages.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Since Mr. Boone presented this, have you had a chance to look over this, Mr. Boone?
Yes, sir.
It's standard contract, everything.
The form ordinance that was attached to the one other paperwork was not in the form required by the charter. The charter has specific language as to being in the ordinance, not the council. So basically, just redid the ordinance with the proper language in it. And also on the back page, the normal way y'all voted on things, 2 meetings, to record votes. It's also not in the form. The meat of it is the same. It's just a few extra things that are required by specific by the charter that has to be in the ordinance.
Yeah, may I ask another question? It says also it can be done by resolution. From my understanding, you do a resolution in just one vote. Is that right? In city council, we can do a resolution by just voting in one meeting, but ordinance, you have to do it in 2 meetings. The reason I'm asking is because the time frame, we're looking at, October 1st, we won't have time to do an ordinance, 2 readings and adopt it, but possibly if we had a resolution, we could. That's just a question.
They sent the paperwork in the form of an ordinance, so I assume they require an ordinance. Technically, the issues whether an ordinance or resolution is the same thing, but the ordinance carries forth the law under the charter, probably a little more so than the resolution.
Prejudge question, I was reading, it said one or the other,
Since they requested an ordinance, I suspect that's what they want. I'd like to find out.
Go ahead.
So Attorney what you were saying is that we do need to do it in,
What you were saying is that we do need to do it in 2 meetings.
Yes, Charles, the county said you have to have two readings. County office ordinance, the same meetings introduced. You have to have first vote and second vote at the same meeting.
But if that's the case, then I think we should probably do one like, either say go and do one tonight and then have a call meeting.
We're not out budget, kind of later this week, make it a regular meeting, and have one item on the agenda and back.
But it got until when, October the 1st. So we can't have it next week.
Yeah.
Even if it just, you know,
Oh, got a meeting first.
Sixth, October 6th, this is about the first,
this is
When's the
October
meeting?
1st.
October 6th.
So we have to have a call meeting.
Excuse me, clerk, you might want to elaborate on this because with all of this, it seems to me, and I'm asking Attorney Jones, since he's the city attorney, why isn't this information made knowledgeable to you? I'm not, this is not at you, but I want to know. I mean, these are questions that, it would seem that you would be asking or explaining to him.
You didn't tell
Since
me
he's
to
the
send it.
legal,
You didn't tell me to send it.
no,
He didn't call and request.
Well, obviously, I didn't know what was coming up, so I didn't know the call and request.
that there's got to be some communication as the city attorney and the clerk. You all need to clear communication.
When I didn't put on the agenda, if there's something that needs to be reviewed, welcome the opportunity to review. I didn't know that was coming up.
We're just trying to get some order here, because if this is going to be, I mean, it's like you don't know. You don't have any.
Anything you want me to send him, you'll tell me, I'll ask for it. But just tell me what you want to see.
Right, from this point on, as of tonight, continue forward everything to the city attorney, Ronnie Jones, and we'll go from there. And if he needs to consult with Attorney Boone and the rest, then that will be up to his discretion.
When are we going to vote to hire Mr. Jones?
This is not, I don't know what this lady's name behind you with the glasses on, but this is not to be tolerated. The second row. Yes, please. This is not to be tolerated. We're in a meeting. We're not at an auditorium. I'm sure you know the difference. Please don't disrupt the meeting. Okay? So, my understanding, that was May 21st. Ronnie Jones, you might want to elaborate on that. Attorney Jones, since Councilman Edie doesn't have the clear understanding.
I certainly don't.
Well, the attorney, he said he thinks we should move on with that. We'll do. I don't have a problem, but that's what the attorney said. Okay, the last item I have, and this is something personal for me, but as I say, I generally want you all to just take a look, pass that down. And if you all know of anyone in the community that deserves a special recognition, I implore that you would do so. No, further discussion under the new business. Motion that we move on to the, committee reports, exit out of the new business.